Hey everyone, it's Rana and welcome back to another video. So this is more movie reviews number 13 and these are just a few of the films I've watched in early 2017 that I want to catch you guys up on. So the first one I want to talk about is actually the first film I saw in cinemas in 2017 and that is Martin Scorsese's latest religious drama, Silence. Now this follows two Christian priests as they travel to Japan to spread Christianity and to retrieve their mentor brother forever. Now I was incredibly excited for Silence, the trailer for it looked beautiful and I just hadn't seen Martin Scorsese tackle something like this before. I can both say that I was fascinated and encaptured by Silence as well as being very disappointed by this film. There are a lot of pros and cons when it comes to Silence and I'll get a bit more into them. So Adam Driver and Andrew Garfield play these two Christian priests, Brother Rodriguez and Brother Gurupe, and they travel to Japan and oh my goodness, Martin Scorsese doesn't hold back on the prosecution and violence that these two brothers face when they get there. The film is set in 1635, a time in which Christianity was very much banned and looked down on and punishable in Japan. So as you can tell, this film is very violent and very hardcore. For its extremely long runtime, Martin Scorsese and the people in the costume department managed to put you into this time period. It is set out so beautifully. The cinematography of these beautiful landscapes is gorgeous. Andrew Garfield and Adam Driver do a great job. Andrew Garfield especially, he is amazing in this film. And for the majority of the film you follow this story and you're interested, but there is a large chunk where you're not so interested. Because it is a religious drama, things can get very tedious and very slow and very boring very quickly. It definitely puts you in the shoes of the main character of Brother Rodriguez and him questioning his morals against God and against humanity and whether or not he should be saving people or whether or not he should just keep his faith to himself. It does give a very moralistic message in this film. And while Martin Scorsese continues to slay every genre, Silence wasn't my favourite film. I wasn't incredibly engaged in it throughout. I won't be watching Silence anytime soon. It's too long, it's too boring, and for me, there weren't that many redeeming qualities that's going to make me want to rewatch this film. I'm going to be giving Silence a 3 out of 5 stars purely because it is fantastically made, but the story and characters just didn't do it for me. The second film I want to talk about also happens to star Andrew Garfield, and that is Mel Gibson's latest historical war drama, Hacksaw Ridge. Hacksaw Ridge tells the true story of Desmond Doss, a Christian who was so devoted to his religion that he refused to use a weapon in combat in World War II. Now, I didn't really know what to expect from Hacksaw Ridge. I just heard that it was a fantastic film and had some of the best war scenes anyone had ever seen put on film. And I can honestly say this film took me on an emotional roller coaster and I loved every single minute of it. From the beginning of the film, when we learn Desmond Doss's background, his family, his abusive childhood, up until his battle in the Second World War, I was completely hooked on this character's story. Andrew Garfield gives a flawless performance once again as Desmond Doss, this committed Christian who has vowed not to use a weapon in combat. Instead of wanting to kill people in the war, he's wanting to save more people. Mel Gibson's direction here is absolutely amazing. From the beginning of the film, from childhood to Desmond's marriage to him training to fight in combat to the actual war scenes, is absolutely spectacular. Like, I've never seen Braveheart, but this makes me want to watch Braveheart. As much as I did enjoy the first half of this film, the setup to Desmond, which I thought really impacted the second half, I thought it made the second half a lot more powerful. The second half of this film is possibly flawless. I'm gonna say it's flawless. The war scenes are gritty and violent and vicious and hit you like a ton of bricks, and Mel Gibson really puts you in the shoes of Desmond Doss and these men on the battlefield. It is flawless directing and flawless filmmaking. The cinematography is beautiful in this film, even if it is blood-splattered war scenes. I mean, Christopher Nolan's Dunkirk has some serious competition when it comes to war scenes because I don't know if anyone can beat the war scenes filmed in Hacksaw Ridge. Those scenes made me clench my fist, made me cry. I went through every stage of just emotion while watching Hacksaw Ridge. I absolutely loved this film. I thought it was flawless. I'm going to be giving it a 4.5 out of 5 stars. I would definitely rewatch Hacksaw Ridge, which is weird for me because I don't really rewatch war films. Unless it's Inglourious Basterds, because it's Inglourious Basterds. While we are on the subject of Oscar contenders and true life stories, I want to talk about Lion, which is the new true life story starring Dev Patel as Thoreau, who as an 8-year-old boy lost his brother when he climbed aboard a train and travelled miles and miles away from him and got adopted by Australian parents. This film covers Thoreau as an 8-year-old boy living with his mother, brother and sister in India, right until he loses his brother, up until he is adopted by this Australian family, and to adulthood. The first half of this film follows Thoreau as an 8-year-old boy when he loses his brother, and you see his journey across to Calcutta and how many difficult choices he faces and how many deceiving people he meets along the way. The little actor that plays Thoreau, Sonny, as an 8-year-old boy was absolutely fantastic. This first half is impactful, it's powerful, it's emotional, and was probably my favourite part of the film. I wouldn't say in a good way because it's a very, very sad story, but I would say filmmaking wise, I think that is the strongest part of this film. The second half of the film follows Thoreau as a 25-year-old man living in Australia with his adopted parents and adopted brother. He's now gone to college and he's played by Dev Patel as an adult, and I love Dev Patel. I thought he was great in this film also, but the second half of this film really threw me off. As a 25-year-old man, Thoreau's trying to kind of get on with his life, move on, fall in love, start a business, but there's something holding him back, and that's the thought that his brother and mother are still out there, and it really, really makes life very difficult for him when he's choosing what to do with his future. His adopted mother is played by Nicole Kidman, who as always gives a really great performance. She might be a little bit overdramatic in this role, but hey ho, it's quite emotional, so I guess she did a good job. The second half of the film is quite repetitive. It's Thoreau going backwards and forwards on whether or not he should stay with his adopted family and try to move on, or whether he should go to India to try and track down his mother and brother. And it switches a lot and gets quite repetitive, and here I find the fault in the film. As impactful and powerful and beautiful I think this story is, it gets very tiresome in the second half. And we've seen true life stories told this way, and I don't think that Lion does anything new or different with it, and I do think it is slightly Oscar baity. That being said, Lion is an incredibly important story to be told. We as people aren't really aware of the situation of the lost children in India, and I think Lion has brought a lot of awareness to that. I will be giving Lion a 3.5 out of 5 stars. And the last film I want to talk about is M. Night Shyamalan's latest thriller drama, Split, which stars James McAvoy as a man, Kevin, who has 23 different personalities. Now, Kevin kidnaps 3 young teenage girls and holds them captive in a very dark enclosed space, and we got to find out what Kevin is going to do with them through his 23 different personalities. James McAvoy is flawless in this role, and every single role he does, every single personality he nails, whether he's trying to be one personality pretending to be another personality. It is complex, it is amazing. He has different accents, he has different vocal patterns, he has different behavioural tropes in different characters, and he's just incredible. I would definitely say that James McAvoy was Oscar nomination worthy in this film. His performance reminded me a lot of Jake Gyllenhaal's performance in Nightcrawler. The 3 girls that are being held captive, one of them is played by Anya Taylor-Joy, Casey. She is the odd one out between the 3 girls. She's the loner that sits at the back of the class, and obviously she's the one that's trying to figure out how the hell they're going to get out of this situation. Anya Taylor-Joy really impressed me in last year's The Witch, and she continues to impress me in this film. She acts shit scared because hell yes, I would be shit scared in that situation. M. Night Shyamalan is getting back to full form with Split. It's a very original idea, it's a very complex concept, but I do think he is not quite fully there yet. He's due for a comeback, and I said that with last year's The Visit, but here in Split, I was expecting something very, very big for the finale of this film. As I saw this film quite late, I heard that there was this massive twist. Obviously, M. Night Shyamalan is famous for his twists, and I'm gonna say that I was really underwhelmed by the twist ending of this film. And I might not fully understand it because it is something to do with one of his other films, but the other twist in this film, I was kind of disappointed. It was very, very underwhelming. I like the little details and I like how things are wrapped up, but I don't think this finale wowed me as it wowed everyone else. As well acted and well shot this film is, because the cinematography is gorgeous, I think Split could have gone in a much more complex route. I think if you're a die-hard M. Night Shyamalan fan, you're gonna just be mind blown by Split. However, I wasn't his biggest fan. I'm gonna be giving it a 3 out of 5 stars. So there you have it, guys. That was More Movie Reviews number 13. I'm gonna get back to full form doing these reviews. If you've seen any of the films I reviewed in this video, Please let me know what you thought of them down below in the comments, and if you like this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up and click subscribe if you haven't already. All my social media links will be down below in the description if you want to come follow me, or I am Rihanna Toria on everything. And thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you very soon. Bye!